What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sales Remastered. My name is Daniel and I'm your host. And on this episode, for all my sales junkies, we're going to talk about modeling. If you haven't caught or if you haven't watched yet, the video I just uploaded right before this one, I'll remind you that my morning videos are applicable to your own self-improvement, right? Literally your own kind of mindset development, a way to stay motivated, a way to kind of push yourself past whatever resistance you're meeting throughout the day. And the second part, which is this video, is more aimed at helping you improve your skills in selling. And selling could be, either the prospects or leads you engage with. Selling could be maybe your manager, right, to get a promotion, or maybe the manager to hire you, or even selling yourself in, again, pushing yourself forward. And so I'm going to apply that same topic that I just uploaded with regards to mindset development in Breakfast of Champions and apply it in this video that's dedicated to sales. So let's talk about modeling. So the reason why I chose modeling is because number one is modeling, not as in modeling like walking down the catwalk, right? I'm talking about modeling like you're using a role model to reference their actions, their mindset, and what they did to overcome certain things, and basically referencing it as a model to build your own success and create your own path. And I'm going to share with you some of my own personal experiences of local influences, and now even up to today, my virtual influences, which are my virtual mentors that I have on either YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. And these virtual mentors or influencers, I still reference, right? I'm using their model today in order to kind of help and create my own brand. And so all I'm doing is just modeling certain influencers that I find genuine and I find truthful and really doing very well. And that's the key thing, is that the person that you're looking to, like, in order to model, that they have to really be doing it, right? They can't just be a little better than you. Like, if that's only as high as you're aiming, then you're not gonna get as far as you potentially could. Whereas if you were modeling someone who's killing it right now, then the chances are, because you're basically taking the same actions and the same steps, and you have the same attitude and the same way of thinking, then you can ultimately create the same results. And so that's what I'm referencing when I say modeling or model, right? Is they become your role model. And I believe that the reason why it's helpful and why it works, and I shared this in my prior videos, because successful people use the model that they found in books, right? Like autobiographies, or maybe self-help books, right? They're using when you listen to like a self-help book, or when you read a self-help book, what they're talking about are very general issues that most of the public go through, and the author or the writer shares their methods of overcoming, right? And so what you're doing is kind of just getting a recommendation of how to get past that. And so that was very popular, still is popular today to the older school. But now with the newer generation, we have more data, right? We have blog posts and audios and podcasts and video blogs, right? Like, there's just so much options. And I think that even within our own surroundings and our sales floor, to apply it towards sales, we also have a lot of examples. So typically, any sales floor, right? Any sales floor is going to always have your top producers, your average, and your below average. It's just the way it is. No matter what sales floor you're on, it's always that way. And you're going to notice that sometimes the below average people can shoot up to the top producer 1 month here, 1 month there. And then sometimes you can even see top producers shut down all the way to a below average producer 1 month here, 1 month there. And then you got people who sometimes are just average and they just remain average, right? They just keep it moving. That's their beat. And so having this type of environment, we have a wide selection of people to choose from to model, right? To model after. And what I have found work is that when you study these lists of producers, And these lists may be coming your way through daily scores, or they may be coming your way every morning from managers showing you who killed it the day before, or who killed it last week, or who killed it last month. And what I found was that when you find the people who are top producers and who are at the top of their game, and they are consistently killing it, right? Like they're just consistently at the top. You're gonna know who they are because they get a little bit more respect. They're commonly acknowledged on your monthly rallies. They're always getting the rewards. They're always getting the shout outs. And you just know, right? Like you know their presence. And see, the thing is though, is that when you're coming into a sales floor for the first time, or you don't know that top producer, it's kind of hard to approach them, right? And the main reason why it's hard is because of our ego. So we don't want to seem desperate. We don't want to seem like we're inefficient. And so we will hold our own selves back from learning the correct model. Not only that, but from implementing the correct actions to get the same results so that you can experience the same quality of lifestyle. Crazy, right? So it's ego. And if you manage to check your ego at the door and find a way where you can be kind of, I don't want to say somewhat social, right? Like you can find a way to interact with them with creativity. You can come off to where it doesn't seem like you're needy, right? And so I'm going to show you how I picked up one of my first role models, and I actually shot them a message, and they're always getting recognized, right? And what I did was I just gave them a straight salute, right? It was all about them. So it was more or less like, hey man, you're really killing it. I hear great things about you, and and I plan to join you at the top. Please keep killing it. Thanks for paving the way. So it was all about their ego. And what happened was when they responded back, like, oh, that's cool, because everyone else, you have to think, right? It's like, I want to reference it. It's kind of like that hot chick at the bar or the hot dude at the bar, whoever's watching this, and whatever flavor is yours. You don't want to come off too needy, right? And so if everyone around that person is always trying to hit on them and ask them for something, ask, rather than actually give, so you're actually going to push them away. And so these top producers, they're always being asked something. They're always being asked, like, hey, can you pitch my deal? Or hey, can I listen to you? Or hey, can I shadow you? Or hey, can I listen in on your call? And that's just asking. It's a lot of asking, right? Well, very rarely are they actually given that type of notice from just some general person. Of course, they're given acknowledgement from producers and managers and other top producers. But when you hit them off to the side on a different level, where you're, hey, thanks for paving the way, you're showing them that they're the OG, right? Like you're giving them respect, like they're an elder. It rings a little bit different than any other sound that they hear. And why it was effective and why I think it worked in me getting my first role model was that I started off on a good note. I never asked them for anything. I started off by giving, right? And I gave them recognition from, and this is coming from someone that didn't have to do that. And up until to this day, when I see people reach out and be like, hey man, you're doing great, thank you very much for the value you give, I appreciate that. And that's why if you look at the comments below my videos or on my IG feed or other channels that I'm on, I respond back quick. Whereas I don't respond back to automated messages like hey, go see my last post, or go check send me a DM, I'd love to work with you. Those are automated, and all that's doing is just it's just noise, right? And so it's not real, it's not genuine. And so you don't really give it your time. But if you manage to use creativity, check your ego, and connect with someone that you could role model, well, guess what? That becomes probably one of the best investments you can have into yourself, because they're showing you the code. They're showing you the formula of what worked, and it's proven. It's proven because numbers do not lie. It's proven because they're already killing it. And if you can use their model, their actions, their strategy, their techniques, their work ethic, their attitude, their mindset, then you can duplicate the results. You can create your own brand, right? Like you can create the persona that they have and to get the recognition that they get by simply doing the same things. It's wild. And when I say doing the same things, I'm not talking about like you're a split like twin, right? Like you're doing everything from how they talk, how they act, how they dress, and everything like that. I mean, you could do that, but that's a little weird. What I'm talking about is you're really just kind of analyzing from afar what they do, why they do it, and really analyzing like, well, why did they choose to do it that way, and why does it work? Because what happens is when you study it in detail, you're able to make it your own. Where I think a lot of the challenge is, and I know this firsthand, are those who want to know how I do it exactly, and they write down every word. Like, oh man, I want every single word, and I want to sound just like that. And the reason why that doesn't work is because that's just kind of a lazy way of going about it. You're just hoping that it's just like some kind of like recipe, right? Like, oh, if I use this script, then everyone's going to be a lay down. Well, there's a little bit more in detail in that. And I'll teach you all those other details here at Sales Remastered, but you can't necessarily, just use pieces of someone's method and hope it works. You actually have to understand the process of the role model and understand why it works so that you can adopt it, adapt it, and implement it in your own style, your own flavor, your own choice of words. And when it comes from you and it's your own flavor, it's your own choice of words, you're not coming off with a tone that's just not genuine, right? Like you don't have any resentment if it doesn't work. Like, oh, if that doesn't fucking work, then I'm gonna quit that and I'm just gonna go back to my old ways. When you understand something and you study something, much like how our elders studied books and read books, they learned from other people's experience and then they created their own. And the books went into detail, so it showed you why they chose to use that plan and how it may have backfired and what they did to overcome. And they understood the process, they appreciated the process, they weren't necessarily driven by the result. And that's so key. Same thing with regards to finding a role model. You're modeling the process in order to duplicate the result. You see, I think we got it backwards. A lot of times we're trying to model the result and then not really appreciate the process. And so I hope this video helps you. Let me know what your thoughts are. Comment below, like, share this with someone who you think is having a real hard time in finding their groove, who's having a real hard time in finding their beat, their rhythm, their groove, right? Like they're not doing it right, basically. I send them maybe a copy link of the video, and it's no disrespect to them, right? Like, you're just looking out for them, and I hope that they don't take it wrong when they get this message forwarded over. So if you are the person that was shared this video, know that it's out of faith, it's out of goodwill, right? There's good intent behind it. And now I'm happy that you found this on, you found me. So add me on your feed, like, subscribe, hit the bell, and let me know what your thoughts are. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.